Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into today's 10 to 14 day video update. So, we're going to have a look at weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For this video, day 10 will take us to the 28th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. We'll be able to extend GFS and ECM ensembles, maybe around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the second half of September. I'll get to that for you in a moment. Just say there was no 10 to 14 day today, so I'm going to be taking Sunday nights off, I think, going forwards. So I don't think I'm going to do a 6 a.m. forecast on a Monday, if that's right, because as you know, I record for 6 a.m, the night before. So I think I have Mondays off, except if something unusual happened, if I've got a storm, or, in winter, if there's a little bit of snow, then might do, like 6 a.m. forecast on a Monday then. But otherwise, I think we're going to have Sunday nights off when I get back from the second job, and start to wind down and rest and that. So I hope that's okay with everyone. Right, okay, the 6 a.m. forecast will be back tomorrow. Right, so first thing we're going to do is have a look at our first calendar reveal. So remember a few weeks ago we was asking you to submit photos for our 2026 GavsWeatherVids viewer photography calendar, and we got some absolutely incredible and amazing submissions. Thank you so much everyone for submitting their photos for our calendar. Unbelievable response again, so thank you so much to each and every one of you who sent through their photos. It was very difficult for myself, James, and Almost Like a Boss to choose which photos we thought should be in the calendar. So the photos that you gave to us were absolutely amazing. It took us a long time actually to work out which photos we use for our 12 months. But we have got our 12 now, and James098 is currently working very hard on getting the calendar created. So thank you so much to James for doing that. The calendar will be going on sale next month. We're now going to start doing our daily reveals of our photos. So the first month, of course, is going to be January. So this is our January 2026 photo taken by David Moore. Thank you so much, David, for sending this through, and congratulations as well for becoming included in our calendar. Thank you so much, and congratulations, David. And wow, what a stunning wintry photo that is to kick off the calendar. Will we have scenes like that in real life in January 2026? I wonder. But even if we don't, we'll all be able to look at that, and when it's pouring with rain and 12 degrees outside, we'll be able to look at that and think, well, that's how winter should be. Well done, and congratulations to David Moore. Unbelievable. Thank you so much, my friend. And we'll be doing daily reveals for our remaining 11 photos over the coming days. So watch this space, everyone. Thank you so much, David, for sending that through. Right, we're going to start off then with the National Hurricane Centre. So 2 interest areas. We've got an orange X just here, which is disturbance 1. 50% chance of cyclone formation with that in the next 7 days. We may find that becomes our next tropical storm and or hurricane. And then, of course, we've got major hurricane area now reached Category 4 hurricane status, giving maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 933 millibars. Clicking on Erin and going here, we can see this storm is going to power up even more. So in 24 hours, predicted to be reaching 145 miles per hour sustained winds, maximum sustained winds. When you think that is like a sustained wind, so gusts are going to be probably up to about 170 miles per hour with that. I would have thought absolutely devastating storm. Then after that, gradually weakens, gradually comes down, but still giving maximum sustained of 110 miles per hour, for example, in 72 hours, but it slowly weakens and back to a Category 1 hurricane by 120 hours when it will get absorbed in the North Atlantic into an area of low pressure. If you're at all worried about Hurricane Erin, then check out all of the information and advisories. Put your teeth in Gav at the National Hurricane Centre. The link to NHC is in the description with the video. Central England temperature is sitting at 18.2, about 2.5 degrees above 61 to 90 average, and it's provisional to yesterday, to the 17th of August. These were GFS upper air temperature observation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, Derby today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Derby. So it's certainly are significantly above average with the upper air temperature at the moment, but we are bringing in a slightly cooler, fresher northeasterly breeze. So for eastern regions, it doesn't feel that warm. Quite a lot of cloud in the east as well. Warmest temperatures in the west. West is best, actually, at the moment. We're about that shortly, however. So we find that the upper air temperatures are going to start coming down, though, as we head on into the second half of this week and moving towards the bank holiday weekend. Upper air temperatures reverting closer to average, and then we find the upper air temperatures lifting up, though, as we go into the closing days of August into the beginning of September. Could become warmer again, however, there's a price to pay for that. So precipitation wise, a lot of dry weather to come over the next week up to the bank holiday weekend, but looking a lot more unsettled, a lot wetter when we get through into the end of August and the opening days of September. So although temperatures are lifting up, it may actually be turning more unsettled. I would imagine the lift up in the temperature here is probably because we're bringing in low pressure containing the remains on Hurricane Erin. Of course, it's a former hurricane, the area of low pressure that we'll be seeing potentially. So that has its origins in the tropical Atlantic. There'll be a lot of warm, humid air associated with that, therefore. But also bring in rainfall as well. So we might be about to, we've been here before over the past few weeks and months, we might be about to break the prolonged dry spell of a drought. But it's still a little bit extended range, so I think we need to be cautious about it for a little while longer. Now, temperature anomalies, the next 5 days coming out below average for many northern and eastern regions. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that. So despite the warm upper air temperatures, actually quite cool air being dragged in from off the North Sea across those eastern regions. A little bit more above average out to west, but even there, not exactly warm. However, in the 10 to 14 day time frame, then the temperature anomaly goes above average. Precipitation anomalies next 7 days, 25th of August, drier than normal. Right, let's start going through chart data there. Mr. The latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Thursday. High pressure away to the northwest, and we bring in a north-northeast wind through the bank holiday weekend. But ridge is sitting over the country, so it should be a lot of dry weather through bank holiday weekend. Not a heat wave, but pleasant enough when the sun's out anyway. By the end of the UK bet, low pressure started to edge back in from off the Atlantic. That could be heralding change of unsettled weather, and of course that low pressure we've got out to the west does contain the remains of Hurricane Erin as well. Icon, again, bringing those northeasterly winds through to the end of weekend. Sees a ridge over country, mostly dry and pleasantly warm. And then on into bank holiday Monday. Again, high pressure is centred over top of the country, mainly dry with that, and probably becoming warmer once again. The KMA has that northeasterly wind at the end of week. Then the ridge for the bank holiday weekend. The ridge breaks as we get through to bank holiday Monday. Low pressure heads in from off the Atlantic. KMA looking quite unsettled today in the extended through to month's end. But again, the KMA tends to be one of the more unsettled of the models, actually. The GFS midnight run is looking like this. So once again, we've got high pressure ridging through the country, bringing a lot of dry weather with it. On into bank holiday weekend, Marich is maintained. And then we get through to the beginning of next week, Marich starts to move away to the east. So this is when we begin to draw up that southerly southeast again, bring some warm air up from the south, but also low pressure edging in from the Atlantic. It takes a little while, it doesn't really turn and settle until about day 11, but eventually low pressure does break through. That's possibly been pushed back by a couple of days again, though, by the GFS. But we go off the running man into an unsettled spell for the end of August, last days of August, and into the opening days of September. The GFS 6 then, once more, with that high pressure ridging through the country through the end of week into bank holiday weekend. The high pressure still there as well. And then we go on into bank holiday Monday, high pressure through the country once more. Through next week, high pressure gradually weakens, gradually breaks down, takes a while, but eventually by the end of next week, low pressure is breaking through, bringing unsettled conditions under the trough of low then for month's end. Into the beginning of September, we start to pull down quite a cool looking northerly wind before high pressure is beginning to re-establish. That will be within quite cool air though. So all change to September, a cooler wet start. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for dear out. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids and get subscribed too. Thanks so much everyone for dear out. We need to put on around 18 subscribers to get 20.5k. Could get a sub, that'd be awesome. Thanks so much. Love it. Thanks so much. Okay, so sorry if I'm being very silly. Right, GM, again, bringing those northeasterly winds through the end of the week, the weekend, sees high pressure over the country, and we start to pull up more of a southerly flow as well. Next week, low pressure begins to break through, so we get to days 8, 9, 10. Low pressure is breaking through, containing the remains of air in as high pressure goes off to the north. The GM turning unsettled for next week. And then the ECM rounds it all off with high pressure just about hanging on, but really just about clinging on for the bank holiday weekend. And we get further on into next week though. The ridge moves away to the east, low pressure breaks through. That starts to bring unsettled conditions in with it around days 7, 8 and 9. And then we get to the beginning of September. High pressure trying to reach back up from the southwest again. So this is what we talked about in yesterday's video. But it does look as though the remains of Erin will break through as an area of low pressure and bring a change to more unsettled conditions. The question is that just temporary? Just a temporary change, and once Erin has gone through, we build the high pressure back up from the Azores again, or is it a fundamental change that's going to really shake up the pattern, you know, and break the drought and all of that? And that's inconclusive. We don't know that yet. The ECM there, I think, is suggesting the Azores high is probably going to come back in once we've got rid of the remains of Erin. So that is still to be resolved, and like early September is not a done deal yet by any means, I don't think. This is a precipitation forecast to day 10 based on that ECM. So we're going to have a lot of dry weather to come over the next few days, of course. Basically, it's not till about day 10 that the low pressure and the rain beginning to break through. And means I'll be up some table within the ECM ensembles. So sorry, everyone. Means I'll be up some table within the ECM ensembles today. For day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office gets us to the 28th of August. 20 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure right over top of the country. That's talking unsettled then. Including controlling the operational room. Got 10 though, with high pressure stronger to the north, low pressure more towards the southwest, just about still under higher pressure there at day 10. Another 10 with low pressure in control, moving in from the Atlantic. Then we've got 6 with high pressure away to the northwest, low pressure to the south, winds coming in from more an easterly direction with that one. Most unsettled weather with that is in the south. 4 very unsettled, deep low pressure over top country, and 1 with low pressure just west southwest. Nearly all the options are involving low pressure at day 10, so I think the remains of Erin will bring a change, but how long will it last? Let's have a look at the options for 2 weeks out. So these are the options on the table for 2 weeks away. Gets us to the 2nd of September. 16 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure right over top of the country. That's still going to be unsettled. Quite cool as well because it's combined with northern blocking. We've got 12 with high pressure just to the south. That brings driest weather into the south, of course. We've got another 12 with high pressure away to the northwest. And then we've got 11 with low pressure over top of the country. So, it's pretty uncertain, isn't it, Bear, whether we're going to be under low pressure or high pressure 2 weeks out. Erin, the remains of Erin, will bring a change, I think, but how long will it last? That'll be the focus of the videos, I expect, over the next week or so. CFS V2 finally reaches the 500 millibar high temperature breakdown week period. The first week period takes us from the 18th to 24th of August. Next week, high pressure to the north, so a lot of dry weather will be turning cooler though for the north and the east. Week 2 is the 25th to 31st of August. Low pressure breaks through then. Remains of Erin bringing a change, looks more unsettled, but not for long. Week 3 gets us back to high pressure. It's the 1st to 7th of September, very typical early September pattern with a ridge from the Azores into northern and western Europe. That will bring up quite a warm southerly southwesterly flow as well, potentially. But then changes again for week 4, which is the 8th to the 14th September. We're back to low pressure then as high pressure moves out into the Atlantic. So rather changeable 4 weeks to come then with the CFS today. The CFS is changing on these ideas daily though, so quite what will be shown tomorrow remains to be seen, but we'll worry about that tomorrow. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe, make sure to show everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos content. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get to subscribe too. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for us. And once again, congratulations for David Moore, our Mr. January. Well done, my friend. Fantastic photo. Thank you so much. Right, tomorrow, going to have 6 AM UK weather forecast. We're going to have the ECM extended, I think, tomorrow, and a 10 to 14 day. And, of course, a 10 to 14 day will have another photo reveal for February this time. You enjoy the rest of your Monday. For this one, though, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.